So much depends on reputation. Guard it with your life. Robert Greene.
All right, fellas, I'm using the 48 Laws of Power concept to go along with my whole idea of why boundaries are your best friends, okay? So, with this law, so much depends on your reputation, right? And this is not just about you flexing your status, it's about you setting boundaries and creating, peace within yourself. Because boundaries promote peace, it promotes you having positive energy. Negative energy is good too at times if you know how to balance it out, but boundaries help you have productive, useful relationships.
Respect your own space.
So by setting these clear boundaries, it's going to automatically equal to showing the world, showing people that you respect your own space. However, I got two examples where I seen a man not respect his space and me not respect my space, right? So for the dude, he had a nice house. He had a really nice house and he loved to have parties, right? He loved for us to come over, turn up. Everybody come to his house to drink, play games, just have a great time. And including with that, people want to come over, break your shit. They want to do stuff that they normally ain't gonna do at their house, but they decide they want to do it at your space. And once you see this and you don't say nothing, but you keep letting them back over, then guess what? You're not respecting your own space no more. So you can't get upset when people are messing up and still coming over messing up while you're still allowing them to come over to mess up. You see how that whole circle keep going back in the circle? So that means you need to respect your own space. When you don't respect your own space and people see that, that make people even want to steal from you. Seriously. They come over, see you got something nice, and they think, oh, such and such can replace that easily. I mean, if that's the case, why they got everybody in their house? That's really what somebody would say that's in your house with the same crowd that they're thinking, well, if they didn't want nobody to take it, why they got everybody in their house? What I'm talking about is the true human nature of how we are as human beings. And as much as you may feel like you ain't that way, it's been times you did the same thing to somebody else. So respect your space first. If you can't respect it first, how is somebody else going to do that? Another example, I'm going to say myself was with my car. Back in the day, I have a nice car. I'm telling, oh, come on, we gonna get in my car. Let's go. Having a little boyfriend there, letting him drive my car, and really he ain't got a nice car to really appreciate it. That's me not showing that I respect my stuff, right? And so when stuff like that occurs, everybody else gonna jump on the bandwagon too. So one day I go pick up this dude, and it was nothing wrong with my car. This fool yanking on the door handle to open the door to get in my car. Boom! He break my damn stuff. Breaks my handle. So now, mind you, he got the money to get it fixed, but the whole purpose is now that's an inconvenience for me. Now I gotta roll around in a Benz with a handle off. When people see that car, what that make them want to do? Bump it, tap it. It don't even matter. So you need to respect your space. You know how they say you can't get respect without you giving it? Well, guess what? You got to give your own self-respect. You got to give your space respect. You got to protect your house, protect your car, protect your mind, body, and soul. Okay?
No more overextending yourself.
Now, no is a real boundary. Back in time, they had a whole movement for men to learn that no means no, right? But a lot of times men challenge other men with the word no. There's times where, a guy is over here thinking, like I like to say, you're not having boundaries, thinking you're just going to get whatever you want, but really you're not getting what you want because you don't have no boundaries. When you say no to people and you don't overextend yourself to people, it makes people sometimes work harder to get to you. When you overextend yourself, a lot of times we as people don't go back and say, man, such and such did this for me. I need to go back and do blah, blah, blah. We don't. We accept it. We think we are so hot commodity that you should be doing the overextension. Here's another example for you. So I had a guy friend I was seeing at the time, but we wasn't real serious like that. So, I like to hear all his woes and wheeze or whatever. And so I noticed this fool will always overextend his house. He had his house available to people whatever time they want to come. They call him at 2 a.m. He getting up out his bed to entertain somebody at 2 a.m. in the morning. So one day, he's like, I want to throw a party. I'm like, well, call such and such. Call them all over. We can all play these games or whatever the case may be. So, he's calling these people. No one's answering when he called. Can I tell you the next day, they all calling him back saying, oh, I want to do it this day. I'm free now. If you ain't free, then okay. They didn't overextend themselves. They didn't stop what they was doing to come do this party with this dude. They ignored them and then turned around and said, this is the day you gonna do it on. Right? And he was pissed off about it. But I kept saying to him, you overextend yourself for so many things that people do not need from you. Okay? Think about the times when someone overextended themselves for you. And did you show them all that gratitude? Did you break your neck to be like, oh, champion you, da-da-da-da-da? Most likely not. So realize that's the same thing that's happening back to you. Pick and choose who you overextend yourself to. Maybe to your grandmother. Maybe to certain people where them not doing a big favor in return is not going to hurt you as bad as someone that you're really chasing after. It could be a girl or a friendship group. It don't matter. But stop overextending yourself thinking you're going to get something in return because you're not. Okay? You're not McDonald's and Burger King where they give you this value meal and you do all that in return. No. You're not even getting nothing even in the beginning. So what are you even extending anything for?
Avoid crossing other people's boundaries.
So when you don't have boundaries as a man, it is very easy for you to cross other people's boundaries, right? Because basically the thing is, if you don't have boundaries, then you assume other people don't have boundaries. And most of us human beings, the way that we think is, if I think it, other people think it, right? If you didn't think about creating a PG&E, right, electricity, all that BS, why do you think that somebody else ain't supposed to think about creating it? So that's the best example I can give to somebody who has that mindset. Anyway, I myself was around a dude who I mentioned earlier, who he didn't have boundaries, so he would just naturally cross other people's boundaries. And someone that would be, feeling like he had the right to hug every woman, feeling like he had the right to just be in people's business to the point where people would stop and ask him or say to him, that's not your business. But because he didn't have boundaries and because he was so open with his business, he just assumed that is how the world works, and it does not work that way. An instance that I was not with him, but with another guy, and we was at a party, and the girl walked away. She was tipsy. She was done, or whatever. This fool goes into her bedroom and start flirting with her while she's halfway drunk, halfway asleep. So she literally passed out, and he's standing above her. I so happy to walk past the room and go back. I said, you about to go to jail. He gonna like, oh, Ryan, what are you doing? What are you doing? Like, really stop and think. So when you as a man don't have boundaries, you start going into other people's stuff that may have boundaries, that don't know how to talk up for themselves, and now you're in a kerfuffle. Now you stuck. Now you don't know what to do. Now people calling you a pervert. Now people saying, oh, he touchy feel, he don't know when to stop. So it may feel like I'm overreacting, but me seeing it myself with other people. Here's another example of this same guy, right? Sometimes we'll all go over to his place and have a drink. And sometimes this would be on a weekday, right? Where your ass got to get up and go to work. So me and another girl would say already, oh, I got to go to work in the morning, or I'm going to have 2 drinks max, but I'll do a third one, just the FYI, or whatever. I'm going to cut myself off. I really want to cut myself off at 2, but I'm going to slide in that third one. This fool, if me and that girl are talking so much that we not paying attention, he'll walk over and pour more alcohol in our drink. Yeah, he'll really do that. So that's him crossing the boundary. I told you, no, we don't want to drink too much, and then you pouring more. So what did that make us look at him as? So if I'm getting this drunk, I got to go to work the next day. Now I'm passing on your couch. Got to wake up early in the morning, run home, get dressed, and go to work. What type of shit is that? When I told you my boundary was 3, and now you're pouring it every time I'm finished. So really, I done been through 7 drinks probably. And so in those moments, it don't make us go back. It make us say we ain't going back around this person. He too much. He don't have no boundaries.
Keep your reputation intact. Law number 5.
Having boundaries and creating a strong, productive, positive reputation of yourself really go hand in hand. When people see you don't have control over yourself, when people see that you don't respect yourself, when people see that you just throw yourself out there, I'm telling you now, no one is going to come and save you, especially with you being a grown man. Okay? When you a kid, you get a little bit of that. But I'm just going to be honest with you. When you're a man, you don't get those savings. That's not part of manhood, to tell you the truth. Right? If you get a little bit of saving, it's going to be probably from another man. It should be. But most of the time, it's from another damn woman. Which then turns around and makes the man not even truly appreciate the true saving because it came from the female, the lesser vessel, as some may say. So these boundaries and your reputation, they go hand in hand. And so when you as a man, you start building these boundaries up, learning how to say no, picking and choosing who you need to overextend yourself to. Like I said, if it's like an old grandma, someone elderly, someone that's disabled, okay, an overextension ain't gonna kill you, right? Because even if they don't appreciate it too much, it's almost like they needed it, right? But you overextend yourself to somebody that for a fact don't need it, but you're doing it to be liked. That's stuff you need to look at yourself about. Why are you doing that? That's even no difference with a job, a career. You try to move up the ladder, you're doing more work, and then you realize time doing less work but get more respect. Pay attention to that, right? Don't base who you are off of other people being bad. Base who you are off of just you, what you out here doing. So create these boundaries in yourself so you can have an amazing reputation. Like I said throughout this video, these young men that I use as an example, these were men who I actually liked. They were cool people. They were nice as hell. But all that niceness was just a cover. It was a cover to eventually do whatever the hell they want to do probably. Who knows? But, being honest with yourself and writing down what you want. Saying to yourself, okay, I might have to tell this person no to get X, Y, and Z. Creating those boundaries, I promise you, is going to build that reputation up for yourself where people ain't going to do nothing but have to respect you.
Boundaries. Set them, enforce them, and watch how your relationship with yourself and others gets stronger and healthier.